One thing I like to do, I like to get these terminals cleaned up really good. And you can do it manually, but I like to wrap everything up in a garbage bag and just touch it with my little bead blaster with that fine glass beads and get them all cleaned up pretty. There we go. All nice and clean. I didn't want to get any sand in that steering column. This is all going to be hand sanded and then painted. But this looks pretty good. The only other thing I did was I used my heat gun. These wires get really stiff and brittle, and I didn't want to break the insulation. So I used the heat gun a little bit and just stretched them out a little bit. It does make them more pliable than they were before. Kind of put some of that elasticity back in it. So that's cool. So now I'm going to tape all that up, and we're going to start the prep process on the column. Oh boy, what am I getting myself into here? Wow. I wanted to take it apart because this is filthy and it needs to be cleaned, and I found 4 little balls, and I guess they go in those little holes, and I got a spring, and I got this. Oh my gosh. Hope I can get it cleaned up and back together. Well, I taped this all off and then sandblasted it, and I cleaned those up. And there's a little tracks here. Those little balls go in, and then it rides on that in there. And then this goes on there to make the contact. I think I'm going to put a little dab of dielectric grease on the balls so they stay put. And let's see if I can get this back together again. I was able to get the balls in the track with a little dielectric grease to hold them, and this thing rolls real nice. And I put it in the vise that way so I wouldn't lose them. And now I got to try to get the rest of this thing on here. Got it back together. The contacts were getting kind of worn, so I had kind of tapped a little bump into them so it'd make better contact. And I got a little light set up here in my battery charger. And we'll switch the wires over to here. You can do it without causing electrocution or something. So I make sure it works. All cleaned up. One more thing done.